Mom, Nine, and she's always on the move. Nine on the move. I guess that's from Instagram, right? But welcome, everyone. It's Sunday afternoon, our usual time. We are excited today. It's almost February. I can't believe it. So I do have to ask people, how are your New Year's resolutions going? I know that the top 2 New Year's resolutions of the top 10, the number 1 is something to do with fitness or health. And the second one has to do with finances. So since we're on the fitness and health category, we're talking about movement. Number 1, how many of you are still on track? If you're not, it's okay because you can change any minute that you decide to. So Mom, thank you for joining us again as always. And tell us a little bit about yourself, about movement moments and what you're doing.
Okay, well, as many of you have heard, I've been at this movement business or this movement thing for a long time. I did a lot of yoga and I studied with a lot of different, I've studied a lot of different ways of moving and been very interested in the idea that the more we move, the more we can move, and that the older we get, a lot of the things we lose the ability to do is not because we're getting old, but because we don't move. And so I've collected a whole bunch of movements that I call movement moments. And they are strategies and activities that you can do while you're doing everything else that doesn't add any time to your day, but that keeps you moving and that moves the parts of your body that don't get moved in our very sedentary lifestyle when we're sitting too much and looking at screens too much and so on. So that's what Movement Moments is. And I love to talk to people about how they can stack their lives. In other words, get those movements in, even though when they're doing other things. And we just had our little challenge last week. That was so much fun. And we had one a day, a movement a day. And we'll continue to do these lives. And I just love talking about it. So
I love the fact that there's so much stuff out there and you have really skillfully distilled down and put them in a way that are useful, because I know for me, it's easy to get sucked into like a scrolling vortex, or you read through this stuff and then you just spend all your time reading and you don't do anything. And then you've wasted whatever time, right? So it's awesome to have just distilled down in a simple way that we can do it, apply it to our life. I know it's really helped me a lot since we started doing this. I incorporate them as I do chores more. It makes me a lot more aware. Hey, Sharon, how are you? I've got lots of people jumping on, and thanks for tagging everyone. I see lots of people being tagged. And you guys, this is for people of all ages. I want to share, my mom just had a birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. My mom and Mozart have the same birthday. And we both feel better now than we did when we were younger. I'm about to have a birthday, and the numbers sound scary, but it's all about how we approach it, right? And what we do. And so my mom has one today. She has a movement moment that is a little bit, because you're not going to grow and change if you don't challenge what you're already doing, right? A friend of mine posted something today that said, if what you're doing over and over isn't working, you might want to try something different, right? So it sounds really basic, but it's so true, because here's the deal. I mean, a lot of us sit here and say, oh my gosh, I'm sore. Oh my gosh, I'm stiff. Or, oh my gosh, I wish I did this, or I wish I could go do that. Try something different. So today, my mom has so many levels of things we can do. And I'm really excited for today because she has a really good approach at figuring out how to make it work. It's practical. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You don't need a lot of equipment. So what are we talking about today, Mom?
Well, today I'd like to talk about the floor and how we should make friends with the floor. We really are designed to sit on the floor. It's only been in the last maybe 2,000 years, which in evolution is no time at all, since human beings used chairs and beds. And, when you have little kids, you sit on the floor. But other than that, most people sit on chairs, or they sit at their desk, they sit at their couch. And I want to encourage you to give this a try. Now, some of you might do this already. Some of you might say, I'm not getting on the floor. But it really takes just a little bit of shift to say, okay, I'm going to make, and if it's hard for you to get on the floor, then there's lots of ways that you can make accommodation. So it's really a matter of making it as easy on yourself as possible, but just stretching your activity a little bit, and then just adding on, it'll get easier and easier. And I guarantee if you spend more time sitting on the floor, you'll feel better at the end of the day, and you'll basically fit in movements, because you're going to have to get up from the floor to do other things. And it's more work to get up from the floor than it is to get up from a chair. And the whole idea with movement moments and natural movement is to do more work with your body. You're really meant to do the work. And we've outsourced all the work that we do. We don't get up to turn off to change the TV. Now we have all these gadgets that adjust the thermostat for us, or that answer the phone for us, anything. It doesn't matter. We don't have to move. So anyway, I brought a few props. And the thing is, if you work, let's start first. If you have a desk at home, you have an at-home business, and you have a normal desk and you sit at the desk. So give this a try. You don't have to make any kind of investment. You just have to use a little bit of,
Just talk a little louder, Mom.
Creativity, and figure out something. Here's a box. There's, let's say you write something, or you're reading a book and you want to sit here. And let's say there's a lot of ways to sit. And that's the other thing. You want to sit lots of different ways. If you sit on the floor, by definition, you're going to change your positions more, especially when you first start sitting on the floor, because you're not used to it. You can get busy sitting in a chair at your desk and not move for hours. And that in itself is not good for our bodies. So let's say I have a yoga bolster, but you might not have that. You might have like a chair cushion or something. And so the trick is to be the most comfortable. You really don't want your spine to be in a position. Can you see this, where it's not curved down? You're not curved like this, which is how we often sit in a chair, and which puts a lot of pressure on our lower back and our neck and everything else. So you want to prop yourself up in a way. So if you want to sit, you can sit cross-legged. A lot of you might need to have something under you so that your back can be in this neutral, comfortable position. And then you sit here for a while and you say, oh my gosh, my legs are getting, so you stick your legs out like this, or you might go like this. And you can do this, while you'll find that after you try this, and no one's going to try this for the whole day the first time, but you'll try this and you'll find yourself moving even while you're doing whatever you're doing. And it's really not interrupting your work, but what it's doing is it's getting you moving. And it's putting you in positions that are using the parts of your body you need, and it's stretching your legs more. And the other trick is you're getting up and down more. And getting up, there's a lot of ways to get up. You can push yourself up like this. If that's very hard, you can go down on your knee and you can get back up. You can pull yourself up. Do anything you need to do. Don't worry if you have to, if it's, oh my God, it's going to take me so much to get up here. That's okay. You just keep doing it, and it'll be easier and easier. And so basically, it's a matter of making up your mind that you're going to try it. And if you have kids at home, get them to sit down on the floor too. If they're teenagers, they're spending too much time on a chair too. Get them to stay on the floor. Move your chairs out. Try, putting your chairs away while you're watching television and make everybody sit on the floor, or play a game of Monopoly on the floor. Try that. And you'll find it's addictive. It really is.
Hey, Maxine.
How are you? Hi, Maxine.
Yeah, I love sitting. I mean, of course, we grew up sitting on the floor because we didn't have a whole lot of furniture, but we do it. It's true. I don't think about it, but I'm always up and down on the floor. And you have more, I actually get sore if I sit in a recliner for too long.
Well, we don't, most people do get sore at the end of a day. They're sitting, if you sit at a desk all day. I mean, if you go to a conventional, a lot of people are working from home now. If you're in a conventional office, they might look at you a little strange if you sit on the floor until you can, maybe you do a standing desk or something. But you'll be surprised at how many opportunities there are to use the floor. And try having a picnic on the floor one day for lunch or something, and everybody eat on the floor. And you'll find, just have little things like boxes that put something up and put your food here and sit on the floor. And even if you have to change your position 10 times, that's not bad, It means you're moving. And you'll get more flexible automatically. And you're not adding any more time. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs you a commitment to move your body more. And but be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Don't expect that you can do it automatically, and don't do anything. If you're sitting and you might need sitting cross-legged. You might need a bunch of pillows under you if you don't have the flexibility in your hips. That's okay. If you have to do this and hold your knees up, that's fine. Any way at all that makes you comfortable. If you have a little chair and you start out just by sitting on a bench or a box like this, that's better than sitting on a regular chair because you're closer to the floor. And then you can sit up here and then you move down to the floor. There's all sorts of things you can do. And as I said before, it keeps you moving.
It's really true. Yeah, staying moving. It's really true that a big part of all of this, and it's like anything, right? It's choosing to shift. And I wrote down before, shift happens. I love that expression, but it really does happen when we choose to make the change. Yeah. Right. So we just have to decide. And part of one of the many things I love about these movement moments is that it's not a huge, massive, we're not deciding to go to an hour-long gym class, or we're not deciding to go to a massive, big, expensive thing that's a scary commitment. It's one little thing at a time. And those are powerful because when you start showing up for yourself, you make a small little commitment, and then you keep doing it, you build your confidence in yourself to make a bigger change. Right?
Yeah, and showing up and being consistent is everything. This little thing that you do every day, it really adds up. It really adds up.
Right. It really does. And so it's so much fun to do all these each week. We come here every week at this time, Sundays, 4 Central, 5 Eastern. And if you are watching this, I know, Sharon, you are always great about sharing it out, tagging people. If you know people who could use this in their life, or you want a buddy to do this with, tag them and say, hey, let's commit to this for a week. We'll see you here next week or something like that, or share it out. It's so much fun to hear your feedback. So let us know.
If you have any questions, please post the questions and comment and let me know, if you have any questions or you want clarification on anything we talked about. Love to hear from you.
Yeah, and your feedback. Like, we'd love to hear if you decide to go on the floor, if you're working from home, if your office, your offices are still shut down, or COVID situation is keeping you at home still. Tell us how you do it. We'd love to see some fun pictures. How do you modify it, your workspace, so that you can work at home? I know I'm on the floor every morning when I do my journaling, and I sit on a ball, and there's all kinds of different things I do, and I end up on the floor for like an hour, and all the dogs and the cats and everybody else they love it because they're all sitting there like, cool, she's on our space. Let's go sit with her. But thank you all so much, as always. It's always so much fun to jump on here.
Let us hear from you. Please let us hear from you. I'd love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, it's really awesome to have you on every week too, Mom. I love it. This is so much fun. You guys, we're going to keep continuing every week, Sunday, same time, same station. And of course, you guys have a great weekend. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
We'll talk to you soon.